This is Shelby Lopez, and you're listening to On the Back Burner podcast. This episode is sponsored by Tacos and Taro, a Kiwana food truck owned and operated by Shelby and Duval Lopez. Food and Fortune, Tacos and Taro offer authentic tacos, tortas, quesadillas, homemade salsa, and tarot card readings by request. You know, it's been an amazing journey, and it's incredible to see how far everybody has came since the beginning of the start of the first Digital Wolf magazine. I was honored, to help kind of put together the first one and the second one and the third one and the fourth one and the fifth one. And it is really cool to see Jess still doing her thing and putting it out there, not only doing that, but the podcast and the gallery. And I don't know, just how far it's came since the beginning and how much it's inspired me and my job that I currently do with my writing, whether it be my freelance work, my job at the radio station, my networking, my photography, just my spiritual work, just all of it. Collaboration was huge for my blossoming as being a proud businesswoman and, just doing my thing and having no shame about it. I had been working at the Sytle for almost a couple years when Jess had reached out to me via email after this insane story where I had been, long story short, but I had been at a hawk release and we were in the middle of nowhere outside of Rochester, and we had seen a truck coming through a field, and it broke down, and it happened to be some bank robbers that had just robbed Lake City Bank. That, I don't know, it was insane. So they got arrested right in front of us. We got some amazing pictures. It was a wild story. And Jess had messaged me, wild story, man. I had taken her picture at the chili cook-off, and I think she brought up that or something, and then said, I really want some pictures. I think it was for her website, whatever. And she wanted to collaborate, basically, and asked to meet with me. She was about to get an office, and inside of Total Bodyworks Day Spa, it was very Better Call Saul, cracked me up, and I don't know, just Octopus, Better Call Saul office. It was vibing with me, and my kind of strange, but in a good way, in an artist way. And I was interested in collaborating. Like, it was a sign for sure. After, doing some business deals together as, combining her design and my photography and giving, customers options for discounts if they went with both of us, we decided we wanted to collaborate more. And when she mentioned the magazine and how she wanted to make this magazine, it was like something that I was definitely looking for. It's like a light clicked. Like, I knew that I wanted to do journalism. I knew I was really passionate when I was in the yearbook, and when I cover stuff for the newspaper, when I worked for the Sytle, it was just something that I enjoyed. It wasn't just a job, so I wanted to pursue that. Mind you, at this time, not only was this just a magazine, it was a portfolio, and I was starting out my business. Quitting the Sytle meant I kind of wanted to take another avenue. Like, I knew I was going to have a baby, so my schedule wasn't going to fit, taking pictures for the newspaper anymore. I couldn't just, I couldn't have a schedule like that, but I could work from home, have appointments on the weekends, still obviously pursue and help my clientele. I was already having clientele anyways, but I wanted an official studio, and my husband was making me the studio, and like around the time I quit, it was ready, and it was featured. Its opening was featured in Digital Wolf magazine, and that was huge to me. I was so excited about that. So the idea of this magazine that we were doing had originally came from an idea Jessica had gotten in this class at IU, I do believe, when she was going to school for design, and she just had this passion behind it. And I don't know, I feel like we had two separate visions, but one that aligned so well, and I just could see how I could, put a little input into this magazine. So like I said before, I was all on board, and we started it. First edition was Trust Your Animal Instincts, a mixed medium portfolio. If you know Jessica, you know that she's all about collaboration and building people up. Well, that's what we did. And, we just wrote about everybody real nice. We kind of either had them email us like a biography about them. Some of them we did like video calls. Some of them we did voice calls. Some of them we did a couple interviews with, but we talked them up for the portfolio so they could use it for whatever they needed it in the future. And it's not just a magazine. It was something that was useful, for future careers or just new avenues, new doors. So on the cover, it says, people to watch 2019. And that was essentially, we were highlighting them, we were highlighting us too, but we were highlighting and collaborating and, giving the people to people watch, if that makes sense for a tongue twister. But also quite literally, we were taking the information about these creative natives and, just highlighting all the good and all their talent and what they were doing in this world, how they're little pieces, change the world, and this is their pieces, and this is what makes them unique, and this is what they have to offer. So the creative natives featured in the first edition were definitely Jessica's people. Some of the people that were in it I kind of heard of, but for the most part, I really didn't know these people. The first one was that was off to a good start. I was just really impressed. The first one was Lacey Bennett. I'd kind of heard of her. She used to be Lacey Baldwin, but I didn't really know her. I definitely didn't know of her talent or her YouTube channel. She's a DIY lifestyle YouTuber and blogger, and she has quite the following. She's very talented. She does everything from, refurbishing furniture to decorating a room. Really cute, mind you, on a budget. She just, I don't know. And she's collaborated with Jessica for, printing and stuff. So Jessica had featured her in the magazine, and hers is pretty easy. It was all I got an email about her. Her pictures were already sent to Jessica, Hers is pretty simple, but I was really impressed. The next one we had interviewed, I do believe Jessica was with me. We did I was on a video, she was on a video, and her roommate in college who now has a business and is from Denver, and her mom even sells her stuff in Rochester, Hannah Burney from Miles and K Designs, did a video interview with us. Once it was with Jessica, and then another time I feel I did one by myself too over the phone or something. And then I think I got an email of some questions and whatnot, and I really got to know the sisters from Fishers that originally grew up in Denver and used crafting as a way to bond, as a family, and then took it to a new level, making it into a business after they got some attention. Hey, we're pretty good at this. People are paying us to do it. Why don't we make some money to, continuing with it, and even doing things that they do classes at Schnabeltier, they do the wine and canvas. Instead, it's not wine and canvas. It's wine and wreath making. It's pretty amazing. They're at farmers markets. They're just very driven small business. Jessica had been, the OG board member for the Round Barn Lab, a makerspace that they're still, it's an organization, but they're still looking for a building. And she had made the logo and everything. And it's a pretty cool thing. They have it in bigger cities and around college towns. So people that don't have welding equipment that want to weld, or, 3D printers or whatever they need, it's right there. And, some people need that all the time and can just get a membership and make whatever they want, create whatever they want. So, of course, as creative natives, what's more perfect to feature than that? One of the first real in-person bonding experiences I'd say that I had with Jessica Shaper was when she picked me up. I was 6 or 7 months pregnant. And we're in the middle of this magazine with Jaslyn. She picked me up, and we went to Kokomo to see Joshua Jenkins to feature his work in the magazine for his art. He opens his own shop in Kokomo called Left Realm Tattoo Company, and he also toured all over the United States. He's a very talented guy, and not just tattoo artist, just artist in general. He had artwork everywhere. That was a lot of fun to photograph. And yeah, that was a good bonding experience. We went out to eat, we got crappy chili at Louis. And I don't know, we got to know each other. And also I love taking pictures in that shop. I'm looking at that right now, and I love those pictures still to this day. So that was a lot of fun. Fun fact, the back page was from our experience at Cheapy Squeegee. And yeah, I don't know. Like I said, me and Jessica had a lot of fun because Jess was there too. But yeah, the very last page, the very back, there's a quote from Shane on there that says, "Where's the color?" Shane read, Jess, I don't even remember the full story to that now. How can I forget that? But and then the last page on the inside is Janae, and she's holding one of the prints up to her face, and it was just a priceless picture. We covered Chris Miles, who's out of Portland, Oregon, and his art, as he combined his art, like two passions, his love with extreme sports and art. And he designed different kitboards, I believe, for kitboarding. And he would sell it, or not sell it, but raffle it for benefits for Kitboard for Cancer. And Kitboard for Cancer empowers individuals to benefit lives affected by cancer. I don't know, it's just the Board of Hope that he took a picture with, and the work is incredible if you check out the magazine. And he's just, like I said, he's an artist in general, and just kind of combined his passions for the good. We had gotten the tie-dye guy, Corey Rogers, who had been married to Jessica's really close friend, like this woman, April Rogers. She was the reason that Jessica had got the office and the spa, like in Total Body Works Day Spa. And they'd gotten close recently, right before she had passed away. And it was around the exact time, like, the magazine was even in discussion, and she'd inspired Jessica a lot to do it and just kind of, follow her dreams. And so Jessica did a little feature on that and featured some of his tie-dye in that as well, because that was another form of art and portfolio. So did an interview with Landon Smith, another one of Jessica's peoples, over the phone, and learned a little bit more about him. He was an ag guy, and then he worked with drones too, so that was kind of different. He did like land mapping and checking on crops and stuff with it, but he took a ton of beautiful pictures and videos and all kinds of stuff, and that was another unique, honestly, art form. Have you seen these pictures? And some of it's featured in the magazine. So that was kind of a, drone photography. That was a little bit of a twist on things. And also Bryce Hardesty with his business was featured, and some of that included, drone photography. On top of drone photography, Bryce's business, Split Road Media, also does the web development, videography, virtual tours, graphic design, and print. And he's actually came a long way too, with the new office in Logansport, I do believe. So big things came his way as well. Caitlin Bartz was featured. Back when we had featured her, she was Caitlin Bartz. She's now Caitlin Rich, and she's had big changes. She's grown her family. She's expanded her business, and she bought Flirt. I mean, Jessica had gotten Haley Lehman to be featured also, and she had worked at Schnabeltier as a cheesemaker and a head brewer, and had this incredible story about how she got into that. And that was art in itself, and it was kind of an interesting little twist and portfolio on it. And I love the art. Jessica, when we had the magazine release, some of the art for her stuff was given to people as stickers, and I still have some of the stickers in my studio, my ukulele, all over random places. Craig Swade, also known as Craig Furnival in Rochester, was also featured. He's a pretty incredible musician, and he's traveled all over the world with different bands, and he's incredibly talented. I believe that I remember hearing his name back in the day. I feel like in the choir room, I feel like the choir teacher either in middle school or something talked about him, but I kind of explored, his music and what he was about, and he is a very talented and diverse artist. And I remember when we were doing, I don't remember if I was with Jessica or she showed me. But for his interview, he was in the airport, like, in security, like, basically, like, getting his stuff checked and stuff and answering questions. And it was, like, it's a very unique interview. But that was a fun one, too. And last but not least, featured throughout the magazine in all of the magazines, in fact, is the incredible work of Ed Jenkins. Ed is a world traveler. He goes, man, he's a man of all trades, I swear. He's like a genius. But his pictures are incredible. The opening photo is his photo of a abandoned vintage bus in Utah. It looks very deserty and just it looks like something out of a like zombie apocalypse movie, and it's a very powerful picture. All of his pictures are just, he nails it. But yeah, he travels all over the world on various cruise ships. You know, he's got his scuba diving instructing license in like Honduras at one point. He does a ton of interesting stuff from like Iceland to New Zealand to Europe to, you know, the Mississippi River. Sometimes it's close. He even owns some property in Rochester. He did for a while. So he has strong connections to Rochester. He's from Rochester. And it surprised me because like in my About Me and in his About Me, we both wrote about one particular teacher, Mr. McCarthy, an English teacher at Rochester High School. He's retired now. Mr. McCarthy really encouraged me and pushed me to join yearbook, and I'm so glad he did because it really opened my eyes to, in a way, to know that I love journalism and, you know, putting myself out there and writing and photography and all that fun stuff. And it really put me where I am today, and I credited him for that. And so did Ed. You know, I mean, who would have known? Who would have thought? And that was in our main influence, you know, unintentional, like, wrote at separate times. Like, it just blew my mind. Needless to say, this magazine was kind of like a snowball effect into the future. And I would go on to do, with Jessica, I would help with five editions. And then Jessica's still going with it. Going strong. Bryn's still on it, and then there's been several editions and writers and photographers, and it's grew in leaps and bounds, and I'm so proud of her. And now she has this podcast going, and her art gallery, and a bunch more surprises that, you know, everybody's got to stay tuned for. And yeah. She just keeps going with it, and that's what she's inspired me to do too with my life, my career, and what I've branched out with whether it be, you know, being confident in my writing, to my photography, to believing in my taco and tarot business. You know, I'm not embarrassed to put myself out there, and I can really, you know, lead that back and look back on Digital Wolf magazine helping me get there.